Don't mind me, people. I'm just lighting my candle to get the night started. You know, want to have a nice little aroma going. Do not adjust your dial. I am Thousandaire Playboy Old Man Logan, just like it says right there. That's my main man, KG. And this is Hot Take Wrestling Podcast. So, this is episode number 157, I want to say it is. So, it's Wednesday, Hot Take Wednesdays. Y'all know what it is. Hot Take Wrestling Podcast starts now, and then we got Hot Take After Dark starting at 10:30. So, without further ado, I'm going to get our intro started. We got to do our weekly recap. We got Crown Jewel recap to do. We're going to talk about WWE releases. We're also going to have a heated roundtable, quick one, and we're going to make AEW Wrestle Dream predictions to round out our episode. Shout out to everybody on TikTok that's checking us out. Let me see. Severini, I think. Severin is one of the names I see on there. But yeah, so let me go ahead. KG, let me get your intro, and here we go.
It's the ginger whiskey assassin, the other KG. Hashtag, y'all gotta chill.
KG, talk to the people.
You know, there was an iconic rap group called NWA. I would make it turn it into me saying that we are also NWA. We're Ends with Attitude Era, though, wrestling related.
That part. Oh, man. Good people that are tuning in and people that are checking us out. If you are on YouTube by chance, you'll be able to see comment section. Comment section, I'm going to have a link that'll be a direct invite to come in here and talk wrestling with us. You want to give us your thoughts on Crown Jewel? You want to give us your thoughts on Raw? Maybe NXT, or maybe tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite? Maybe even TNA Bound for Glory. It's a lot of wrestling to talk about. I'm going to go ahead and throw that in the comment section right now. Go ahead and hit that button, man, if you want to hop on, conversate with me and KG, all right? But let me go ahead, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to do this with Magical Post pre-production, in session, all that good mess. Intro right here. Boom!
It's Big Oos, Old Man Logan, acknowledging.
As always, thank you all for checking us out, checking out Hot Take Wrestling Podcast, checking out Boulevard Ave Radio, checking out any of the content that is being shared, made, created, etc. on NMG TV over on YouTube. Alrighty, we're also on Instagram. So let me go ahead and show you guys all of the socials where you can follow us, support us, and tell us about what you love about wrestling. Bam! Right there, TikTok, Hot Take Wrestling. Instagram, Hot Take Wrestling. Twitter, or formerly known as Twitter, X, Wrestling Take, because why? Hot Take Wrestling was taken already. We're on Twitch also at Hot Take Wrestling Podcast. And as I just mentioned, NMG TV over on YouTube. Smash the subscribe button, leave a comment. There's shorts over there. There's full long lift content. Pause. Can talk a little bit, and there's plenty of good stuff to get into over there. All right. So make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Please tell a friend to check out Hot Take Wrestling Podcast. All right, KG, you ready to get this started?
Yeah, let's go.
All right, let's go ahead and start with the weekly recap.
And now, your week in review.
I love how both of these shows just got the Japanese wrestlers beefing for no reason. Well, not for no reason. The senpai, as they say, supposed to respect your elders, supposed to be, which is hilarious because technically Konosuke Katasuka's OG is Kenny Omega. it's not Okada, but EO's OG I think really is Asuka. So I think that's funny that both shows got that dynamic going on in terms of the beef basically. But with that being said, I think they're basically um, teasing the turn Takeshita babyface. I know he just actually won out of WGP Heavyweight Championship. He beat Zack Sabre Jr. at one of the New Japan's Pro Wrestling's events. So I don't think they'll do like a title unification or anything like that. But I think ultimately they're going to put him as a babyface. He just gets too great of a reaction to keep him in that heel space, especially since they got Okada, who's obviously versatile enough to still be one of the top heels, and then the way they're pushing Kyle Fletcher as well. So they got room to turn to people babyface, especially with Swerve still out. I don't know how long he's supposed to be out, and Ospreay obviously. I know they're pushing Darby again, but obviously Danielson is no longer full time. So, and I also want to think that it was a good idea, like I said, to switch topics about AEW. The fact that I think I touched on this last week. It's kind of good that they're mixing and matching some of Hangman's opponents because, you don't all want to put back-to-back former champions and keep going with that, but you also want to get some new blood in there. So, that was Fletcher's first chance at the World Championship, the last pay-per-view event, and obviously we'll get into Wrestle Dream later. We got Samoa Joe challenging Hangman for that championship, so another former AEW World Champion, and then he had also faced MJF, obviously, his first feud with the title after he successfully obtained against Moxley. So we get some big heavy hitters there. It was also cool that the stat lines, no pun intended, but for Chris Statlander and Tony Storm, two of the most winningest women in AEW history, and they've never gone one-on-one. So that's also interesting from the standpoint that there's no brand split. So it's been due to injuries too, obviously with Stat. So that probably played a role in that. But definitely looking forward to that match. Like I said, we'll get into that later as well. SmackDown. Talking points. Obviously, you got the MFTs. Got them going back to some old school references when they were in Bullet Club. I think that's where the war paint came from. Yeah, you see, yeah, back. So Tama Tonga returned and erupted a damn good match between Sami Zayn and Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yes, sir.
For the U.S. Championship, fall back to almost 10 years ago when Shinsuke made his NXT debut when he faced Sammy at one of the takeover events in Takeover Dallas, I believe it was. So another hell of a U.S. Open Challenge match. So we knew they were going to go back to solo eventually, though. All roads was going to lead back to that, which is fine because you mixing in both of it basically. Open challenges, but also you still have a few. So that's for showing that. Like I said, if they let them cook, I'm really looking forward to McIntyre and Jacob Fatu. So we'll see, because it basically looks like they're teasing one of them being Cody's next challenger, because WrestlePalooza that came and went. I'm pretty sure Drew and Cody want another crack at that because, like I said, they had a solid match, but outside of them, the 70 Mercury and EO Sky, it's like a lot of those matches seemed like they were going through the motions because even their match, something wasn't clicking, and I like both guys, so. But definitely want to see where they go with that. Profits were unsuccessful in challenging Y6 for the World Tag Team Championships. I saw a sign out there. I don't know if you saw it. Did you see the person with the sign that said Unify the Tag Division?
No, but I'm so glad that we're not the only people thinking it. Like,
yeah,
the tag division, and it's sad because if it isn't the Usos
or New Day,
I don't care if it, because even when New Day just had it briefly,
right, they didn't really do nothing with it.
They didn't really do nothing. You know what I mean? So it's like they keeping the tag title on Finn and
JD, right?
Raw. They got it on the Y6 over on SmackDown, and it's like,
what are we doing?
You know what I mean? And you got the Motor City Machine Guns came, and you tell me if I'm wrong here, but it was to like
kind of like interject something into it.
Yeah, it wasn't fanfare behind it.
It wasn't.
Yeah, it's like the people don't care if it isn't the Usos right now. And I don't know what the answer is to that, because it ain't like you don't have good teams. You definitely got good tags there. The people invested.
Yeah, well, because like I said, even with it being a split division, they still have enough talent where we should be able to have feuds that are compelling enough to get us interested. And if not, then unify them again, because this is the second time they put the titles on JD and Finn, and they've had over 100 some odd days with the titles, and they defended them once or twice.
Mm-hmm.
That's a red flag. I mean, yeah, I figured that out though. But
it's a glorified prop.
Yeah.
When it comes to Raw, to me, if we're not talking about the main title, or I mean, women, I'm glad women aren't the popcorn match anymore. But like everything else on Raw is kind of like the popcorn match thing. Right now, Raw's pecking order is legit. The World Heavyweight Championship, Dirty Dom with the IC and the AAA title, and the women's, not even the women's championship. I would say more so.
No, there's the Kabuki Wars and Rhea and Io. Yeah, I co-sign that. Yeah, so they don't have to figure that out too, because it's like they made a big deal. You know, she won the Crown Jewel Championship. You know, we'll review that real quick in a little bit, and she knocked out somebody who's undefeated this entire year, and then they don't even have anything lined up for her, like no potential single feuds. So that's a little strange now that you mentioned that. But yeah, speaking of Crown Jewel, obviously we know what the match of the night was. Just it was so cool to see them, because AJ was doing mostly TNA stuff, and obviously Cena was doing WWE stuff. Not stuff, but tributes to legends.
It was a cool, call.
Yeah,
because he even had the old TNA ring gear, which
he did.
Yeah.
So I didn't catch that the Deadeye used to be Frankie Kazarian's finisher. Did not know that.
Yeah. So
I thought they just weren't calling it because Hangman's at AEW, but I didn't know Frankie Kazarian was doing the Deadeye in TNA. Yeah. And somebody said the super kick was a combination, because they said James Storm was doing that at one point. You would be more familiar than I would.
During the Beer Money run, well, not during the Beer Money run. I can't remember if that was his finish. No, they had him and Bobby Roode had a team finisher, but I think when they split Beer Money up, he was doing the super kick, and I think I even used to reference James Storm as like a more solid, a heavier HBK. He did remind me of like a Shawn Michaels-esque guy, just a bigger. But yeah.
There was some I missed too. They said he did the Rude Bomb, so I guess that was Bobby Roode's finisher, one of the moves that AJ did.
Yeah.
The Kakita clutch went over my head for some reason. I should don't know it was Joe.
Yeah.
And then Angel's Wings, that was cool. Some people don't know how close they are. I think one of AJ's sons is actually named after Christopher Daniels. First name. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it was just to the point that at one point they just did on the live. He almost went for the 619. I was crying laughing. Like as soon as I hit the 619, I would have lost my mind.
I'm glad he didn't try, because that would have like just threw away all of the greatness.
All the stuff, yeah, because it was so crisp too when they were paying tribute to all those dudes, because we got the Scorpion Death Drop. I mean there was some. I think I caught most of them though. Yeah. I don't think too many went over my head. Because the chokeslam could have been a callback to Kane and Taker, which they both were seen as opponents. We know the Tombstone obviously Taker
and Big Show.
Yeah, I didn't think about Big Show. You're right. Someone said he did the World's Strongest Slam. I said I don't remember seeing him doing that.
I would have to go back and look for that.
Yeah, that's the one I did not see. Yeah, I was like, I don't think, because he had did some of the previous stuff, because he had I think he had Cody with the GTS, or one of the matches he had somebody with a GTS. So like that's why he didn't do another one with Punk, obviously. I think he caught all of them, man. The Bray Wyatt one, obviously, most people got a little emotional about that one. I thought, yeah, that was cool, man.
Yeah, the Fireflies, everybody started lighting up their phones. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, because Cena, you could tell Cena was happy they caught on to that right away.
Yeah.
But obviously, like I said, match of the night, because even without them hitting finishers and other people's finishers, it's still just a crisp match where I think most of us knew Cena was going to go over, but it was just a very fun match. The crowd was into it. I think some of the wrestlers responded. They got their tributes out to them. I mean, there are some people who they didn't use their move. Like we didn't see the Rock Bottom, obviously. We teased the pedigree. But Cena faced so many opponents. It's like, man, he couldn't put everybody's stuff in there. But it was just, it was phenomenal, no pun intended. Even that tribute to AJ before the match when he wrote that when he had the announcer announce him into the prior to the match.
Yeah,
the leader of the Bullet Club. I could even said that on. I mean, they've said Bullet Club before, but still, it's just one of those things where pulling the curtain back a little bit and acknowledging other promotions and their past is actually pretty cool.
that's been one of the things of the Triple H era I've really enjoyed. That now you can get callbacks in reference to like other time and other federations. Like it ain't just have to be all WWE. Like we can talk about AJ's history over on TNA, especially now that they're working with TNA. Obviously they're not gonna name drop AEW right now, but eventually that would even be a talking point in some form of fashion if we see a guy like Chris Jericho maybe come back or get inducted into the Hall of Fame, not necessarily come back to be an in ring again, but just to make a return. Like I could see a reference maybe taking place there, or if anybody from AEW were to leave and come over to WWE. Because that, as you were, kind of doing the callbacks to certain moves, it made me think about when Cena was like doing this cryptic stuff on Twitter, and he would put like certain people's pictures on his posts. And I remember he put up a picture of Kenny Omega, and it's like, well, obviously that match isn't going to happen. But I was thinking like maybe around the time of whenever Kenny Omega's contract with AEW is up, would we ever see him maybe come over to WWE?
I would. That's a good question. I would say I would like to see them 1 year. The only problem is Eagles probably get too much involved with it to do an AEW and WWE Forbidden Door. That's the only problem with that.
Yeah,
Tripp's not gonna want Seth to lose to Ospreay. Certain guys. Tony ain't gonna want Swerve to lose to. I'm trying to think. A dream matchup with Swerve. Can't think of one right off the top of my head. But stuff like that they're not gonna want to see. But going back to Crown Jewel, I think we both had it right. Our two cohorts were shout out to them for joining us last week, but I think we both had Bronson going over. I'm like, man, it's not gonna be clean.
Yeah.
But I think it was just obvious. They can't have Roman constantly being unable to be pinned in singles matches. They said it's the second time in 5 years he's been pinned in a singles match.
Right.
It's only the third time he's been pinned in the last 5 or 6 years period. Because I think Jay pinned him in that tag match. The Usos faced him in Solo. So nothing wrong with that. And it continues to build the tension between the old Bloodline cohorts, the OGs, which continued on Raw 2 nights ago. And Jay was basically like, man, I'm out here helping you out. I got a #1 contendership match. I got to worry about myself. He said, now I'm hurt. Trying to help you. Right. I thought that was pretty funny. I'm surprised they didn't give Stephanie and Tiffany a little bit more time. I think they had the shortest match on the card. I mean, it made sense that Rhea got that much time. They're in Australia, obviously.
Yeah.
A lot of people came to see her, and it was a damn good tag match. And then Cody and Seth, I mean, they don't miss, but it's at that point, what else could they do that haven't been done? Once again, I think it was blatantly obvious Seth was going to go over, but still nothing wrong with the way that match came about at all. Like, still was. I think it's not just because of the whole thing of him having a torn pec. I just don't know if they were ever going to top that too. Just the story they were telling and being able to have such a crisp match with him having a torn pec. Yeah, exactly. He wasn't going to make it worse, but he still could have gone so horribly wrong doing that match because of the fact that, like I said, it wasn't going to get worse, but you got to be careful because you don't want him to injure someone else too.
Yeah.
Type thing. But
it was pretty ballsy in hindsight for them.
Yeah, it was to even go that route.
To go along with this match, but it's like, the two people that you had, you got pretty much the best of the best in the locker room there for that particular match. So it's like, injuries or any like out of the norm things happening, those would be the guys you would think, okay, we shouldn't really, even though Seth has done, injuries and not on purpose, at least I hope, but injuries have happened in prior Seth matches. You know what I mean, with Finn, with Steen, and with John Cena.
Absolutely.
So, but it was like you said, man, for them to pull that off with the torn pec, it was going to be hard. They were going to be hard pressed to try to top that anyway.
Right, exactly. And even the WrestleMania match, like I said, we were debating. I think, to me, it was a toss up. I couldn't decide which one was the match, and they were back to back between Bianca and Becky, and then Seth and Cody. I couldn't decide because I know like they were back to back. They both were, like damn near 9 out of 10s for me. But so I was like, that was apples and oranges in a sense. Yeah. It's almost like comparing Rhea and Charlotte to the Usos versus Sami and KO slash Gunther, Sheamus and Drew that weekend. Because it was like I don't think it was the wrong answer. But then Raw came around. Obviously, we didn't see that coming. Speaking of division, got that obviously, pun intended. Extreme pun intended. I don't know. So I'm guessing Seth's injury might be legit. Maybe that's why they didn't have a direction to go with him. I'm hearing he might need surgery. I'm not sure if that's confirmed or not. I just don't know why they booked that triple threat if that was the case. They knew he was injured going into it because that was extremely premature. Yeah. I'm not sure what that was about. Like I said, I got to see what they're going, what direction is, because they're talking about like potentially reuniting. Basically, like Seth going crawl back to Roman in a sense. I'm like, yeah, but everybody don't need to crawl back to Roman. That's getting old, man.
Right.
Because now my thing is, where do you go with War Games? Obviously, you have Brock, but Brock's not the bossy one, but at the same time, he's still an alpha. So if the whole point was them turning on Seth because he was getting too big in his britches, what you gonna think with Brock Lesnar storyline wise? So I don't know what the direction they're going. Because I don't know how you even set up War Games on the other side. You still have the potential to add Drew on that side. But him, Brock, the Bronze, and then who else? Unless you just go 4-on-4 for War Games. I don't know, man.
To put them in a unique situation, though, like because everybody just knew Division versus this basically this made-up team of, good guys, for lack of time. Which
is the Avengers.
Typical War Game, or Survivor Series style matches, but now with the shakeup that we've had with the with Division, with this potential injury and him, I want. It's been some conflicting rumors. I don't know how they're going to go about it per se, but I did hear that with the impending surgery, he may just relinquish the title, and whoever they deem to face CM Punk, who won that triple threat, will be, who becomes champion. I'm assuming they're gonna put Braun Breaker in that space, but Brock would be the easy.
Yes, I'm about to say. I'm thinking they might go Brock only because it's Netflix and they gonna want Braun's moment will happen. I think it won't be till WrestleMania 42 though. Yeah. Like everybody don't have to have their crowning moment at WrestleMania. I get it, but
you get the winner of
a little time, yeah.
You don't get the summer of Punk, you get the winter of Punk. You know what I mean?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Put it on CM Punk, let him ride it out up until WrestleMania if he's healthy enough. Just put it on him. The fans will be plenty happy with CM Punk as champion. He doesn't need anybody to talk. He's a veteran at this point. Has a great attitude, great mindset going on right now. Obviously, wife's back into the fold as far as WWE is concerned. So you're putting him back into a position where you can have him feud with either LA Knight. You can have him feud with either Jay or both. Braun is being positioned. I think you're going to probably – that was the only thing with that. It's like, okay, do they kind of just make Braun the forerunner of the Division at that point now? Because he was the one grabbed the title. He didn't have, Bronson Reed even try, So it's one of those things like, all right, where do they go from here? And who could you put in that mix if you do put Braun as the new leader of it? You know what I mean? Who do you pair now with Bronson going forward? You know what I mean? With the new vision, pretty much.
The only person I think of, like I said, keep bringing this dude's name, probably Austin Theory. Because
When
there's some
When
people.
Steph was there, that made sense to me. But now that he's gone, I don't know, man.
Because the thing is, there's plenty of other people who you could put in the stable. Because the only other person I could think of you could throw in there is Logan Paul.
And if
But I don't think he needs that. That's what I'm saying.
Lou wasn't doing the whole, wasn't it Grande Americano?
Mm-hmm.
If he wasn't participating in that, I would say this would have been a good space to throw him in right here.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, he's been doing that, so it's like, okay, what do? We either end up with, like you said, maybe in case of emergency, break for Brock, or they do something creative where they maybe call somebody up from NXT. I think that's an option.
Yeah. I think my only thing is I don't think they're gonna bring in another alpha, because if that's, like you said, that's the way they basically ended Raw. Is if Ron's now taking over. If that's the case, then they're not gonna bring. That's why I said I don't even know why I said Logan Paul, because he definitely not gonna fall back.
Right.
So you gotta. That's the only reason I threw Austin Theory out there. If they want to replace Seth with somebody else, is because they need somebody that's on the come up to a degree, and not someone else that comes off as an alpha, or at least like an equal to Braun, because Braun is a 2-time IC champion. So you would need someone who fits that mold. Excuse me. So you would definitely need that. They could always, flip the script. From a standpoint of, it doesn't have to necessarily even be people that are doing the Americano thing. They could always just, you can get Pete Dunne. There's somebody else that's injured who's coming back soon, Dragunov.
You could go Dragunov.
I think he was over enough, and he was with the fans. He was he was building that equity.
Oh, we didn't even say this guy. What about Gunther?
I was saying Gunther, but I think Gunther's another alpha. That's the only reason I was definitely thinking. But I think if you bring Gunther, how you gonna tell Gunther to fall back for Braun Breaker? I mean, he's already been a 2-time world champion.
Yeah, Gunther would definitely have to. It would have to be like a Paul Heyman move, where Paul is like, "Yo, look, I know you want this, but he's more ready for this role at this point in time than you are." Under that kind of rule, which fits into the Paul Heyman like slimy, slithery kind of way of doing things.
That's the only reason I wasn't saying Gunther, because he's already been to the mountaintop twice, and it looks like Braun doesn't want to fall back anymore in a sense.
Yeah, because if Braun wants to be the forefront, and he wants to be the guy of the vision, then you got to put somebody there that's going to be good as either a tag team partner for Bronson Reed, or you now inject Bronson into the mid card and you have to put a tag team with them, which may be an easier route to go with it, because now you want to flesh out the vision to be a full-fledged stable at that point. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Even though they've been teasing the whole thing with Finn, I would have said Finn, this would have been it, but Finn is another person that could have, he's doing an alpha-esque run when you put it how you putting it, because he's played teammate already.
Yeah, too long.
He's not going to want to, one team and go to another team. So I think the best way to move forward with that is, boom, you put Bronson Reed into the mid-card division. You make Braun Breaker the face of the division, and who's a tag team you can put there? Could we see maybe Paul, pull some strings, maybe get the Street Profits under him, for the vision, or I don't know who could necessarily fit, but it needs to, the end game with that would need to be them unifying the tag titles. Like that's still, because that's still
the issue.
And to truly become, I mean, I thought it was supposed to become Evolution, and if Seth's injured, then hey, that idea has to be altered, obviously. But the only way for the vision to truly meet its potential and to become something as big as like the Bloodline was, you know what I mean? Hell, even Judgment Day at one point had didn't they have unified titles? Or that was just when it was split?
No, they did.
Yeah, so even they got a chance to be on both Raw and SmackDown. So I think I'm trying to think of who's down there in WWE. And I mean, and we've said Ethan Page before as well. So you could very well see that him come up and kind of be the accomplice to Bronson and Braun.
Now, here's an idea to throw out there. What if the vision? What if there's not male wrestlers? What if they get a women's tag team to be a part of the division?
That can work because the women tag titles got to appear on any show anyway. But in theory, it's a rarity that they be on NXT from what I'm seeing. But it's about.
They haven't been on Raw in a while. When's the last time Charlotte? I'm saying Charlotte Lester's kind of been stuck on SmackDown to a degree.
Did they have a backstage segment? Was that in Raw or was that SmackDown?
They did, but I'm saying like they've kind of just been stuck on SmackDown. So I don't know if one of them's legit injured or what, but I remember that one time when they first got the titles, they defended them on Raw against Raquel and Roxanne. But
Really?
I think those, yeah. So, and what I'm thinking there is you can call somebody up from NXT. I mean, I know they brought her in to kind of be the face of that women's division, but maybe you get Blake Monroe with somebody or somebody not really doing nothing with on the main roster that's kind of due for a push.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately, Dakota got released. She's been a tag team wrestler already, but still, like, it probably would mean more, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm trying to think. You could turn Jade heel.
Yeah. Or you could maybe put the Creed brothers. I mean,
I was thinking them because they ain't doing nothing with American Made no more. But
yeah,
I was just thinking maybe to do something different than we already accustomed to. That's how I was just spitballing, saying maybe a women's tag team, a little more than likely be a men's tag team. But it just was, something possible that we hadn't seen before.
I got excited when they started including Becky a little bit more than they were, initially at the start of the division. Because I was like, okay, this is interesting because we haven't really seen, even with the bloodline, like how much bigger that may have been had you had a female member of the bloodline, that was going after both of the women titles, like,
right?
Be that Naomi or whoever, maybe Nia,
It would have been Nia, yeah, more than likely. I mean, because she's kind of in that Rock realm where it's like the way they're related, but it's still they are technically related. It's kind of a weird way to describe it, but I think she's still part of the NY.
Mm-hmm. So it's one of those things where it could have been added a little bit more to it. And then if you play like I just recently played WWE 2K25, and the whole storyline that was there was an original storyline where it had like Bayley and CM Punk, KO as like the leaders of a brand new stable. That was basically all of the NXT originals. You know what I mean? So you could maybe see a female kind of leading the division would be kind of interesting. While Braun becomes the face of the men aspect of the division. But yeah, I think that would be where we're headed with it, man. If they don't call it something altogether new. But I think maybe you put a tag team with them, and you just kind of go from there. And you just put Bronson in the mid card, and you put Braun in the heavyweight title picture, and you let Punk feud it out with them. Maybe Braun finally gets it at WrestleMania or something like that. Sammy could win Elimination Chamber. I know Sammy has been my dark horse pick to win the next Royal Rumble for since last year, so I could see him maybe Braun Breaker winning the Royal Rumble, and then you maybe have like Sammy win the Elimination Chamber match to face if Cody's still champion for the SmackDown title. That's how you do that. But yeah, or whoever. Maybe they may have taken it off of Cody by then, but just some things to think about.
Yeah. Cody's interesting from a standpoint that, once again, everybody doesn't have to lose their title at WrestleMania. And I think I kind of get away from that, or even at a big time event. Only thing with Cody is the way SmackDown is structured right now. I don't see anybody outside of maybe Drew taking that championship out of him.
Yeah.
Maybe Orton if they turn Orton, because Orton hasn't had the title in what, 5 years?
And they've been alluding to it, but you have like I've noticed in every segment that Cody's in with another wrestler, they all peeking at the title in some form or fashion. They just had Jacob Fatu do the same thing on SmackDown. He looked over at the title, so it's just kind of like, all right, you know. But we'll see. We shall see.
It's just a matter of who they trust enough to get that title off them. Like I said, Cena made sense. I just don't see the way, like I said, outside of Drew or Randy, I don't see anybody on SmackDown right now that they're going to elevate to that point. They're going to try to utilize Aleister Black more, but I don't think he'll get that big of a push. I mean, I'd be surprised, and if I am wrong, I'd be gladly wrong about that, because there's certain talent is like, man, let's do something different, man.
Yeah. And Aleister, correct me if I'm wrong here, he never touched any other mid-card titles on the main route, right?
Nope.
So, okay, boom, there you go. I could see them utilizing him in the mid-card first.
Yeah, more than likely. Yeah.
And because Sammy's a main eventer now. Like, you know, right now, yeah, he got the U.S. Title challenge, U.S. title open challenge taking place. Basically, kind of showcasing his skill set, and they've been pairing him with great people that had great matches with. Like you just said, he had the one with Shinsuke before that got interfered with by the MFT. But he's a main eventer waiting to happen at this point in time. I mean, he has main evented. They main evented against the Usos at WrestleMania.
Right.
But as far as for a singles title, though, that's what I mean. Like, Sammy's more than ready. As long as he stays healthy, he's more than ready. So I think maybe if we can kind of see sooner than later, the closest we can get to a Voices-esque Randy Orton, defeat Cody, maybe, give Cody the kick, take Cody off TV for a little bit, and you maybe have Cody, just to spitball here, I don't know if you would have Cody come and interfere. If they did, let's just say Sammy goes to Elimination Chamber, wins the right to face Randy Orton. Randy Orton's dethroned Cody Rhodes in this scenario, right? He's won the right to face Randy Orton at WrestleMania. Cody costs Randy the title, some form of fashion, in his return. He's been off that whole time because he doesn't need to. I mean, not to say that having Cody in the Rumble is a bad thing, but you didn't took him off TV for a little bit, so he doesn't necessarily need to be in the main event storyline that much. You know what I mean? But he could come back WrestleMania, help Sammy get the W, and then go on and feud with Orton. You know what I'm saying? Or you create a trio. You know what I mean? Because of course Cody going to come back and become champion too. So
yeah.
It would just be an ideal scenario, I think, on top of, like you said, the Drew McIntyres. But Drew's already been there too, so that's why. Leaning a little more heavy on, let's get another person in that, that space that's ready for it.
Well, I was another reason I said Drew is because I think at some point Sammy will win that championship. There's a built-in storyline because I think Sammy like 0-10 or something against Drew in singles matches. They had posted something before they had that match on Saturday night's main event, so they'll be like them really ultimately climbing the mountaintop.
Yeah,
so to speak. So,
and I'm under the impression, I do feel like this is going to be Sammy's time. Like, I do think he's finally going to get that moment. I don't think KO won't be cleared by then, will he? By WrestleMania.
They never gave an actual time frame. He just said he can be out for a while.
Yeah.
But you know how wrestling works. Even though they were going out on the blood feud before, and it's like one of those things I can still see him getting involved and helping Sammy somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's see, man. I do have the NXT results here, bro. So I'll run through those right quick, as well as NA's Bound for Glory. We're going to do the recap on both of those. I'll start with NXT right now. We got Trick Williams, who lost the TNA title to Mike Santana at Bound for Glory. He is now going to go on to challenge Ricky Saints for the NXT title now. So loses one title, going back to go try to get another one. Josh Briggs defeated Matt Cardona. I was kind of surprised there, but Josh Briggs is an NXT talent, homegrown. Not to say that Matt Cardona isn't, but Cardona's playing for the other team right now. El Helio defeated Dr. Wagner. Oh, wait. El Helio defeated Dr. Wagner, if I'm saying that wrong. No. El Helio defeated Lexis King. Y'all forgive me. I just butchered that completely. I apologize. I'll do better. Let's see. Blake Monroe defeated Zarya. OTM, the tag team OTM, returned, and they had them destroy the Cuddling, Chase U, and Hank and Tank. And Tatum Paxley won the number one contender spot to face the women's champion at Halloween Havoc. So she won the number one contender battle royal. So she's going to go on to Halloween Havoc and contend for the women's title. JC Jane, I think, is still women's champion down at NXT. Right?
I believe so, yeah. Because
I heard
we were saying that like we thought we were the last event. I think Jada Parker challenged or something, right? Okay.
Yeah. I heard she was injured last I heard, but I guess she's able to go. So maybe we'll see. This might be Tatum's time. A lot of injuries are kind of happening. So people just got to, do what they got to do.
Yeah, but I think it's, well, they just have to have something released because about health of wrestlers at times. So if it's not more than a month, I think they normally just keep the towels on them now.
Yeah. While we are talking, I am looking. I'm trying to see what the hell I did with that tab for TNA's Bound for Glory pay-per-view that took place. And I think I'm close to it. Give me a second, good people. Give me a second. Let me just do this again. All right, so here we go. TNA Wrestling Bound for Glory results. Let's see. TNA World Tag Team Champions, The Inspiration, Casey Lee and Jesse McKay, defeated the Elegance brand, which is Heather and M by Elegance. Let's see. Steve Macklin defeated TNA International Champion Frankie Kazarian to become the new TNA International Champion. Tessa Blanchard defeated Gia Miller. Frankie Kazarian and Nick Nemeth win Call Your Shot Gauntlet match. So they have future chances to go for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Let's see what else took place. TNA Knockouts World Champion Kalani Jordan defeated Indy Hartwell to retain the women's TNA World Heavyweight Championship. And let's see, the System, Eddie Edwards, Alicia Edwards, Moose, Brian Myers, and JDC defeated Order 4. Mustafa Ali, Tasha Steelz, The Great Hands, and Special Agent Zero in Hardcore War. TNA X Division Champion Leon Slater defeated Javon Evans in a time limit draw X Division Championship match. And then, which got 5 more minutes, and then he ended up winning, Leon Slater. And then let's see, one final table match, the Hardys versus Team 3D, aka the Dudley Boys. Hardys defeated Dudley Boys / Team 3D. And yeah, very emotional in the ring there. The guys gave the Hardys their boots. The Team 3D, aka Dudley Boys, are officially retired as a tag team. And then, of course, last but certainly not least, Trick Williams versus Mike Santana. Mike Santana defeated Trick Willie and became the new TNA World Heavyweight Champion. to which Mike Santana had his daughter come into the ring, and he placed the championship at her hand, not at her feet, but like he bowed, gave her the title to hold for him and all that good stuff. Pretty emotional moment for him. Mike Santana's, a guy that has been wrestling for a long time, was part of Proud and Powerful. I really liked them when they were in AEW. I was just kind of upset when AEW never gave them a shot to be like the tag team there, especially during that time. They had a nice tag team division going. But now he's a TNA World Heavyweight Champion, man. So congrats to Mike. And that was TNA Bound for Glory. So much like we said, y'all, we are going to try to make sure we encapsulate as much wrestling as possible going forward. It won't just be WWE. You know what I mean? It won't just always be AEW. We're trying to add TNA to the mix. And as we go on, we're going to add more to it as well. We're going to look to try to get some indie love back going for some people. So indie wrestlers, if you all want to do interviews and such with us, make sure you get with us on one of those social media platforms I told you about earlier in the show. All you got to do is search Hot Take Wrestling, and basically you'll find us. So we'd love to have you come on, be a guest, and talk wrestling. Come promote your next match. Come promote your fed that you're in. All that good stuff. So that being said, KG, did you want to do the heated round table since it was a pretty quick one?
Yeah, let's start that.
All right, let me go ahead. Let me find that, and we can get into that. And we will end our show tonight making picks for Wrestle Dream.
Ooh, the round table's getting heated. Heated round table.
Now, as we all knew, Shinsuke Nakamura came over from New Japan around the same time AJ Styles. Two of the biggest signings that he had at the time. Probably still the last 10 years. Shinsuke is one world championship point away from being a Grand Slam champion in WWE. I think he's a multi-time U.S. champion. I think he's once or twice at the Intercontinental titles. Definitely been tag champions because he won those with Cesaro. Now Asuka and Io Sky, obviously, there's a little bit of a language barrier there, but they are both multi-time world champions. Now, my question that I posed to Logan, and y'all feel free in the comment section, y'all have a thing about this. If the Women's Intercontinental and United States Championships were around, would they have ever been world champions in WWE? Because of the discourse of the language. Not that they're not talented enough, but all three are talented. That's the point I'm making. But Shinsuke has not reached the mountaintop. And granted, there are more people he has to compete against to get to the mountaintop. So that might have played a factor in it too. But my thing is, I'm wondering if it's the language thing more so than anything, and would they be champions or world champions if those IC and US titles were around throughout the duration of their careers? I'm going to say yes, only because there is more of a lack of depth with the women. But I think if the roster was larger, maybe they might have got Shinsuke, so to speak. Mm-hmm. He's gotten opportunities, but he's still yet to win a world championship.
I think you hit it on the head when you said if the women rosters was larger, you could possibly play Ring Around the Rosie a little bit more with the main women's championship and have them maybe utilized in mid-card more than they were, because Io and Asuka basically, they came from NXT. They kind of played the motions with them for a little bit. They did the tag team thing, the Kabuki Warriors, and you had Io with Dakota Kai for a bit before Kyrie came back. And they kind of did that for a while. So I think it would have been a 50-50 chance with it, though, if you had a bigger women roster, or if the women roster was just all one roster and they didn't have it necessarily split where, you got some on SmackDown, you got some on Raw, some on NXT. And I think maybe you can I think eventually we'll see a unified women's roster that can show up on any other shows in any rotation. Because to me, NXT is no longer the developmental brand. I think Evolve has taken the place of that. and as Evolve is growing, it's a little more grassroots there. They don't have the luxury that NXT had of being a part of the WWE network to build off of a already existing fan base. You know what I'm saying? They kind of doing a grassroots thing with Evolve where they're showing the stuff on Tubi, which is it's owned by Fox, but it's not a huge. It's in the realm of streaming platforms. It's not like the platform. You know what I'm saying? It's not like Evolve is popping up on NXT, not on NXT, on Netflix or on a Hulu. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So they're naturally progressing and growing, in a grassroots type manner. But if you had a bigger roster, I definitely think that EO and Oscar probably wouldn't have been, champions as much as they've been if the approach was different.
Right.
But
and then I also will piggyback and can you see you going and say that I said with the men too, I think you're able to, or the women, should I say, that they've gotten more camera time lately, and obviously they started doing the subtitles as they were doing with Shinsuke, but I feel like the exposure is more there too, because like with the men, if you're a world champion, you're at least an upper mid card. They're not closing shows, which means you're all over the brand. With the women, outside of Charlotte, when she had that feud with Sasha and them, they're not closing shows consistently. Because I think that was the first time the women ever closed a show was Charlotte and a pay-per-view or a premium live event with Charlotte and Sasha inside Hell in a Cell in 2016, if I'm not mistaken. So I think that plays a role in it too. So it's just something interesting to think about, because it's like, man, why hasn't Shinsuke been a world champion? And other people who are coming from foreign countries, not just because they're all from Japan, but other people are coming from countries who also had a difficulty getting their point across promo-wise of being world champions too. I mean, Sensei doesn't fit the mold of being, 6'5" or whatever, but he's not short either. So it's just like one of those things that makes you wonder if it's a combination of the language barrier / lack of depth on the roster. So this just made me think about like, hey, damn, Sensei's never been world champion. So
yeah. Now I heard Shinsuke is supposed to be returning to Japan once his contract is over. What are your thoughts on it? Do you think they'll give him a run as WWE champion before he's out of here, before it's all said and done?
I'm leaning towards no, only because there's so many other talents who it's not gonna say the fans are not invested in Shinsuke, because you heard that Poppy out on Friday when he came out. Now, granted, it was an overseas crowd. There were some of those crowds a little bit more passionate than the average U.S. crowds outside of, your New Yorks, your Philly, your Chicago's, your cities like that. But
right,
I'm just not sure, man, because you get so many people lined up that we anticipate are going to be world champions, will be in that title picture. That it's hard to see if you can find that realm where Shinsuke is a world champion. From the Sami Zayns to the LA Knights to the up and comers like Jacob Fatu. And to the guys who, I didn't think Seth was going to touch the title that fast again after he lost it last year. Granted, he turned heel to get to it eventually, but there's so many guys just lined up. I just don't know if I see it, man. It would be nice, but I gotta try to. And then occasionally, every so often they decide they want to unify the men's world titles. So you gotta keep that on the back burner. So if there's one world champion, I don't know if they'll put it on him, because most of the time the Shinsuke's been competing, there's been 2 world champions. Like his feud with AJ, there was 2 world champions at the time. I think Brock had the Universal title, and then when he was feuding with Seth, Roman had the WWE Championship. The Universal Championship, or Undisputed title, whatever he had.
One second. Before you finish your thought, let me get your boy in here right quick. Boom! Final boss. Lord Beerus, aka Heel, Hot Takes Heel. Kill is in the building real quick. What's going on, good brother?
Hello, everyone.
That's what's going. Reason salutations, brother.
Yes. Continue with your well worded expertise that you're giving.
I appreciate it, man. But yeah, I just think I don't know if like I said, you got to keep that in mind too. Sometimes they occasionally just decide we're going to unify the title, so it's just hard to pinpoint who with one champion who they're going to invest in because they've done that they did that 2013 they did that with Ordinance Cena, they unified it, and then after that it was one champion for what till 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Then what was two champions until what 2022. So every so often they just decide they're gonna unify the men's world championship. So it's hard to pinpoint who you see as outside of a handful of guys, your Gunthers, your Braun Breakers. It's kind of hard to pinpoint if there's one world champion who that guy would be because some of these people too are getting up there in age. So that's a factor as well.
Yes,
I feel like that's why they did the crown jewel thing though, so they didn't necessarily have to have that one title bracket, and they opened it up for opportunities for other people. That's why Roman whole thing was you the secondary champion, you the paper champion, with the world heavyweight title. I feel like it does seem as though it gets crazy for us watching and for them to put on matches with so many titles, but having those titles, it like in the mind of the superstar, it validates them to say they're a champion in WWE, no matter what championship it is. Like even when they had the 24/7 championship, which I feel like they never should have taken it away. I think if they kept it going this long, it may have been stale, but I think they stopped it sooner than it needed to stop. But I feel like they should at least still have that somewhere going, that we still have a 24/7 champion. Whoever was the last champion is still the champion. They just like not on TV, or they just been in hiding this whole time, and bring it back. Stuff like that, because it helps the roster. It boosts like in the game how they have you they have the emails and stuff going, and they say it boosts the morale. I feel like it boosts morale to have that like that. That's just my 17 cents.
Yeah, I can see that. They kind of got something similar. They just don't have the people running around after. They got that speed championship thing. So it's like they could have did a different design about the 24/7 championship if they wanted to keep it around type thing, where it was the format and not to have it all the time. The wrestlers chase each other. They just made it a little too quirky, a little too gimmicky. But it did have a purpose for sure, though.
And since the what's the word I'm looking for here? It's escaping me. The introduction of the Speed Championship, those have been added into the NXT fold. So now those championships are on. They can be defended on NXT and as well as on the Speed. I don't think the Speed shows come on any type of particular platform. I think that's a Twitter exclusive thing, or maybe it might be YouTube as well. But yeah, it's not like it has. I think it has its own thing, but it's like via Twitter or via YouTube. Yep. But good people, Brother Akil has an announcement he wants to make real quick, because I know he doesn't want to go down the AEW Wrestle Dream picks with us. He doesn't watch AEW. So
I
brother,
hate AEW with a passion.
if you will, go ahead and give the people your announcement real quick.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we over here at Hot Take Wrestling Podcast are going to do this thing in November called a watch party. And this watch party is for Survivor Series War Games. There will be a link that will be posted out on the Hot Take page and all platforms tomorrow. The promo code will be HTWP or HTAD, and you will get $10 off. The tickets are $20 online. Use the promo code, you get $10 off. And if you don't, and you wait until the last minute, it's $30 at the door. So use the promo codes, come through. It will take place at Tata's Kitchen and Social. They are one of the partners and affiliates with my organization, the Great Chicago Fire Events Reels affiliation, the affiliation for short. We do a lot of events with them. They have amazing food. You may have seen posts about them a lot this week. So definitely come through. The menu will be exquisite, and the drinks are amazing. I got these big ass drinks that are like so good from what I've heard. I don't drink, but from what I've heard, they're very, very amazing. So come through, enjoy yourselves, connect with other wrestling fans, talk wrestling, and yeah, just have a great time. Again, Survivor Series War Games, November 29th, presented by Tata's Affiliation and the Hot Take Wrestling Podcast. See you there.
Yes, sir. The very first, hopefully of many events that we are participating with, helping to co-promote, and looking forward to it, man. It's been a long time coming since we've been doing Hot Take Wrestling. Brother Kill gave us the opportunity, so gratitude, brother, gratitude, and we are looking forward to having a great event. So everybody, if y'all need to, make sure you put your PTO in. Go ahead, come hang out with the Hot Take Wrestling Podcast crew, Hot Take After Dark crew, have some laughs, and man, just talk wrestling and watch some wrestling. You know, it should be a good time. It should definitely be a good time.
And we
And who
spoiled now.
knows?
Go ahead.
This may be Cena may be a part of this PLE, so this may be Cena's final Survivor Series. Like, we don't know how we have no fucking idea how Survivor Series is going to shape up now.
Exactly.
Like, none at all. I just hope it's still going to be good as what we all thought. But yeah, who knows?
And we're spoiled now too, man, because we get these events on Saturdays. So even if you got an adult, you know, a lot of people don't work Sundays no more. So it's like you got a chance to really kick back and enjoy yourself. I mean, some people still got the babies and all that whatnot, you know, but you know I'm not effing kids. I'm just joking.
And the cane of KG comes out.
He got the blue shirt on. He blue cane tonight.
Blue cane, SmackDown cane.
I'm Scottish Warrior right now, I guess.
Oh, you do. He is a McIntyre.
That's a what I call him, who McIntyre shirt. Oh my god.
Ah, yes, that's funny.
You know what? I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna let y'all do y'all AE shit show stuff or whatever. I mean, I seen a tweet. I don't know if it was today or yesterday, but I seen a tweet. It was today. Somebody called Drew McIntyre the GOAT. I blocked them so fucking fast. I'm like, what? They was like, it was a promo he did when him and Kevin Owens was going into it for this little brief period or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, the GOAT? What? I blocked them so fast, bro. Like, no, I blocked them quicker than I blocked Domino's Pizza.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't like Domino's. I'm that type of person. But all right, I'll let y'all get into this show. I mean, AEW, sorry. Take care again. Survivor Series War Games. Get your tickets starting tomorrow.
Right. Links will be in bio, and links will be on post, so you guys can check us out. $10 off for that. And yeah, like I said, man, we're looking forward to it. It's been a long time coming. Opportunity finally presented itself. So good people, anybody that's watching, you know, you want to promote your stuff with us. You want to have us come participate in your show. You want us to help in promoting your show. Yeah, hit us up, man. Hit us up. I'm going to show you the social media stuff again, so you can do just that. All right. So that being said, we've had our heated roundtable discussion. We've had our weekly recap. We've done our big results as far as TNA Bound for Glory and Crown Jewel. So now we're going to go ahead and get into AEW's Wrestle Dream pay-per-view. KG, that happens
this Saturday.
This Saturday.
Yeah.
Yep, October 8th. Oh, wait. Is it this Saturday or next Saturday? No, it's this Saturday.
This Saturday.
October 18th, 2025 at the Chi Fets Arena in St. Louis, Missouri. I think I said that right. All right. So, yeah, let's see. I'm going to do this, whatever particular order they have it listed here. is how I'm gonna do it. And it doesn't mean it's going to be the order of the pay-per-view on Saturday. All right, KG, you ready to make these picks?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna start off with Darby Allin versus John Moxley in an I Quit match.
Darby. I think I'm confident this time. You can't keep losing Mox, man. It don't make sense. Although last time I think I did pick Moxley, I said I don't think they wanted him losing X amount of pay-per-views in a row because he had lost the title to Heyman and he was on the losing team for that lights out steel cage match. But yeah, I'm going with Darby.
I'm gonna go with Darby here too. I do think it's time for Darby to have his ascent and become one of the guys in AEW. And not to say that he isn't already, but I do think this match, winning this match, will set the tone, set the pace for him to now go on to become one of the contenders for the AEW championship. And who better to defeat than John Moxley to cement that. So yeah, make sure October 18th, man, y'all watching that. I think it starts at 7 p.m. All right. Hangman Adam Page versus Samoa Joe in a singles match for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship.
Hangman.
Gotta go with Hangman as well. Hangman's been doing very well as champion this time around. Very satisfied with him as champion. This new gimmick change that he's been doing the last couple of months has worked. It has worked. For me, Hangman was kind of corny initially. But as of late, the last, I want to say maybe 6 months to a year of Hangman, I've enjoyed it. So I'm going to go with Hangman as well. And that's nothing against Samoa Joe because, yeah, Samoa Joe is a ultra vet. Can't go wrong with him. Super solid pick if you wanted him to win, but I'm thinking Hangman retains here. Chris Statlander versus Timeless Tony Storm in a singles match for the AEW Women's World Heavyweight Championship match.
Statlander, as much as I like both of them, it's time for Tony Storm to move out of the title picture.
Yeah, I think this will be a good showing for.
No, it's gonna be a great match. Yeah.
But I'm in agreement with you there too, brother. Chris Statlander, I think, is going to retain. I think this is her run, and I think this is just going to be the icing on the cake to start the run, and with a definitive, win against Tony here. Jurassic Express, Jack Perry and Luchasaurus versus the Young Bucks in a tag team match. Winner receives $500,000 cash prize.
I'd take a few bumps for that amount of money, but with that being said, I'm gonna have to go with Jurassic Express. They just reunited them. It doesn't really make sense to them to lose their first tag match back together. Oh, not the first, but the first one on pay-per-view.
I mean, because of what they've been doing with the Young Bucks and because them having a price tag on here, if you win this match, you're going to get X amount of dollars. I think they're going to go Young Bucks. I'm in total agreement with KG as far as Jurassic Express shouldn't be losing this match, but with the whole prize stipulation, excuse me, I'm going to go Young Bucks. Let's see. Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe in a singles match for the AEW TNT Championship.
This is the only one I might be tempted to be confused about. I'm not confident with this one. Let's say Mark Briscoe, one of the most underrated gems in professional wrestling right now. And then eventually allows Kyle to go up the card maybe after he loses a mid-card championship. Not completely confident with this, but I'm going to go Mark Briscoe. Because he's yet to win a single. Well, he won Ring of Honor, but that's kind of like their.
I was just getting ready to ask. Like, he was just Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion, right?
Within a year, it wasn't just because he beat Jericho for it and he lost. Yeah, it was a while ago. Because I'm trying to remember because Bandino's had the title for a while now. So, you know what? Actually, I'm still with Kyle Fletcher because it's like their rubber match too, and they probably gonna want Kyle Fletcher to be more meaningful when he drops it. Not that it wouldn't mean enough to Mark, but yeah, actually, I'm gonna go Kyle Fletcher. Never mind.
Okay, I'm gonna pick Mark here only because I'm trying to think. I think Mark, like you said, he's touched Ring of Honor gold. He hasn't touched any AEW gold as of yet since he joined AEW after the passing of his brother. Kyle, it makes sense to want to pick Kyle to retain. I think it would only, do, good for Kyle to retain. But I think, like you said, as far as pushing Kyle up the ladder, as far as, giving him maybe now AEW, heavyweight championship opportunities, it has to start here. And I'm going to go ahead and pick Mark Briscoe to win and become new AEW TNT champion. Let's see. Brodito, which is Bandito and Brody King versus the Don Callis family. Kazuchika Okada and Konosuke Takeshita. Say that 3 times, people. I did pretty good, though. Did pretty good that time. And a tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship.
Brodito, because they keep teasing they want Takeshita and Okada to have a feud. So I'm in agreement. Blatantly obvious.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you there. I think this is the way to get that feud ignited with the loss here. End of the match, them shoving each other. Somebody finally takes a punch and full on assault, and it goes from there. So yeah, I think Brodito will retain. All right. Jamie Hayter versus Takia in a singles match.
I'll go Jamie Hayter.
I'll go Jamie Hayter as well. And last but not least on this list here, the Hurt Syndicate versus the Demand. Ricochet and Gates of Agony in a trios match.
This is their rubber match. You can go Hurt Syndicate only because I do feel like Bobby Lashley about to get a singles push. I think he's next in line after Samoa Joe, after the World Championship. So I'll go with them.
Okay. Hurt Syndicate, yeah, they've been doing pretty good. And as I always like to say, believe in the swerve. They lost tonight, the match they had tonight against the Demand. So I am going to, I'm going to go with the Hurt Syndicate to win. And I'll put extra little sauce on it. If the Hurt Syndicate do win, I will, in fact, buy my very first ever AEW t-shirt, and it's going to be the Hurt Syndicate. I got the Hurt Business shirt, so why not get the Hurt Syndicate shirt too? All right.
And that's not to say they couldn't elevate Ricochet to be the next person in line, but I just think whoever comes out of this, that one of those between him and Lashley, they're going to go after the world title.
Definitely. It would make sense, and it's time. They took the tag titles off Hurt Syndicate, so
yeah,
it's about that time to utilize Bobby Lashley as a singles competitor and in that spotlight. He deserves it. He deserves it. Bobby's put in the work. He's become a workhorse of sorts, and even if they do a slow build, I would like to see him eventually in that picture, that title picture.
Or I know he went to film a movie for a little bit. You could also, I don't think it takes that long at these days now to film movies, because you could also have the interference of MJF to get back at the Hurt Syndicate.
Yeah. But yeah, man, people. So St. Louis is the location, AEW is the federation, and Wrestle Dream is the PLE or old fashioned pay-per-view that is happening this Saturday. So you know what I'm saying? Wherever you watch your PLEs, pay-per-views, AEW more specifically, I know they kind of do it old school. I don't think they're on a particular stream.
I think on HBO Max, aren't they?
They are, but they're not free. So it's like,
oh, my fault. Okay.
Yeah, it's not discounted, but it's not free. So they don't have any of those kind of deals like
platforms. Yeah,
with platforms where you can get the actual event for free. So, but whatever you watching, you know what I'm saying, you're able to watch Wrestle Dream this Saturday. Or if you don't watch it, you're more than welcome to wait on the good folks at Hot Take Wrestling to post the results on our Instagram page. But yeah, man, that's going to be our episode for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Our big recap of everything that's going on. Y'all make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Excuse me, there was a little slurred there. And check us out on any of the following platforms. All right. Bam! TikTok, Hot Take Wrestling. Instagram, Hot Take Wrestling. Twitter or X at Wrestling Take. Twitch at Hot Take Wrestling Podcast. YouTube at NMG TV. We are also on Kick at NMG Podcast Network. So I have to add that last one to this particular list. I gotta update the list. Gotta update the intros, man. It's a lot of things that's changing, a lot of pieces that have changed in this year of Hot Take. And I want to thank everybody that has been rocking with us thus far. We got a chance to form Voltron last week, and I was happy about that. So looking forward to forming Voltron again. But until then, you get the great tag team of KO and Sammy, bro. You know what I'm saying? So what more could you ask for, huh?
What more could we say?
What more can we say? So on that note, y'all, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna get ready to get up out of here. I am your boy, Old Man Logan, aka Thousandaire Playboy, Old Man Logan, or just Logan. And that is KG. And this is Hot Take Wrestling Podcast. You guys tune in at 10:30 for Hot Take After Dark with the wise man, No Chill with Phil, the heel, Hot Takes heel, Akil, and Shelly. Special guests. All right. Special guest host Shelly. But for now, me and KG, we up out of here. Till next week.